Welcome to the High Ticket Success Podcast, where premium coaches, consultants, and advisors come for bold strategies, big breakthroughs, and real results. I'm your host, Dave Dubeau. Hey, gang, welcome back. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel like life in business is just too damn complicated? Yes, I know I feel that way quite often. Actually, I used to feel that way. Luckily, it's simplified a little bit. But my special guest today, Laura Posey, is an expert on simplifying things, helping us simplify our lives, our businesses, get things dialed in. I've known of Laura for years now because I was telling her just before we started this, it seems like every January I get a gazillion emails from a gazillion different people saying, hey, this Laura person can help you plan out your whole year on one page of paper. So that is pretty appealing. So Laura Posey, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Great to be here.
Yeah. So Laura, I kind of just bumbled my way through introducing you there. I'm sure you can do a much better job of kind of explaining in a nutshell, what do you do and like who do you do it for? Who do you serve?
Yeah. So my whole thing is helping coaches and consultants build kick-ass lifestyle businesses where you get to put a couple $100,000 a year in your pocket. You run the simplest, leanest kind of business that you can so that you've got plenty of time to enjoy yourself and to spend whatever money it is that you want to make.
That sounds very appealing.
Yeah. My folks, they're not interested in scaling for the sake of scaling. If they had $1 million a year, they probably wouldn't know what to do with it because they're just not interested in Ferraris and all that stuff. And they're smart enough to know that the dirty little secret in the industry is a 7-figure business is not done on your own. It requires a team. And once you get above about 250 or 300 in revenue, everything else you make on the way to $1 million is just spent on other people.
Overhead.
Yeah. So the difference between, 250 and $1 million doesn't change your income at all.
That is a brutal truth.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only reason to scale is, from my perspective, is ego. Because just, look, 7-figure business. Or if you really if you're really building something that is saleable, but the vast majority of coaches and consultants don't have anything to sell. They are the business.
Yeah.
And even if they have a bunch of team members and there's still nothing to sell, right? They have a list of people and they have clients, but those aren't saleable because when you decide to stop working, somebody's just going to wait until you go away.
Yeah.
They don't have to pay for your clients.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to transfer that goodwill.
Yeah, it really is. And I know a lot of people who've tried to sell their IP, like, I've got this framework, I've got this process, I've got, nobody wants to buy it.
Plus, it's so easy to duplicate these days.
Exactly. ChatGPT, that's all it does. Quite honestly. And let me go steal somebody else's framework, twist it a little bit and give it back to you and say, look at this unique thing.
Isn't your idea amazing? Yeah. Pat you on the back for coming up with a great idea. Laura, so, okay. You help people simplify their lives, their businesses, streamline it, just really dial it in more on the lifestyle side of things. How do they do that? How do you do that? What's kind of your secret sauce for simplifying the hell out of our lives?
Yeah, there's a couple super simple pieces. One, start with the lifestyle design. Figure out how much money do you really want to earn? Let's figure out what it's going to cost to live the lifestyle that you want to live. And then we can figure out how big the business needs to be and what your profit margins need to be in order for you to have all the stuff that you want. And so that's the first piece. The second piece is the one sheet of paper where we map out what's it going to take to get you where you want to be. And then the third piece is, all right, let's find the simplest possible path to get you there. We have a framework we call the success circle, which are the big pieces of the business that have to be in place. It's clarifying your audience and your offer, right? You need to know who your people are and what you're selling.
Yeah.
It's attracting the right customers, your lead generation and your conversion. It's delivering on your promises. It's finding the most impactful way to deliver what you told them you were going to do. And then finally, once you run out of time or you start finding stuff you don't want to do, it's delegating all of that stuff to free you up to do the things that only you can do. And that's
And
it.
more of that time for that lifestyle, which is
Exactly.
what a lot of people get in the
Exactly.
coaching thing for. Very cool. Laura, I'm kind of a mental picture kind of guy. So
Yep.
if it's all right with you,
Yeah.
and you don't need to share exact names or anything, but can you walk us through like one of your favorite success stories of one of your clients, that where they were before, and then walk
Yeah.
us through this whole journey and how they kind of transformed working with you following this
Yeah.
month?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, one of my favorite clients, they always say, like, if you had a client and you could just clone them, who
Yeah.
would that be? Right. And for me, that's Martha. She's just an absolute delight. She spent 20 years as a voice coach,
Hmm.
teaching folks how to improve their voice, like at the Broadway level.
For
Um,
singers,
yeah.
basically people.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
And was doing that for a really long time, and just thought, I want to do something else. I have this gift for helping people express themselves. And so she pivoted to helping women in corporate find and amplify their authentic voice. But she'd never worked in corporate. She didn't know how to get into corporate.
And
Um,
that's a big leap.
it
Teaching people how
is.
to sing,
Yeah.
and then now work in corporate, which I don't think she's teaching them necessarily how to sing. It's
Not at all.
their own voice in a different way. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a huge pivot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Um,
continue. Just yeah, that's right.
and so she had this idea of what she really wanted to do. She just couldn't figure out, the steps to get there, right? Doing a lot of cart before the horse thing. Like, I got to do some lead gen. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let's figure out who your people are, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to understand them. And let's figure out what you're going to offer them. Is this going to be one-on-one? Are you building a group? What's the thing? And as always with coaches and consultants, I'm like, just start out one-to-one.
Mhm.
It's just
Okay.
way, way easier. Just
Get some
go get
reps.
a client.
Yeah.
And so we put a process into place that we call the interview method. And within 5 months, she was already at six figures.
Nice.
No lead gen, no list, no social media. Like, just boom, done. Reaching out to folks with a very specific ask. Hey, I want to interview you for an article I'm writing. And at the end of that, going, hey, if you were me, who else would you interview for this article? Boom, boom, boom.
Nice. Simple.
And yeah, super, super simple. And it was the first time in her life she'd ever had a six-figure business. And so now she's building on that.
So what I'm just curious, and that's a great example. So for Martha, she was a voice singing coach for the
Yep.
longest time, went into
Yep.
corporate, focusing on female executives. I believe
Yep.
you said that was
Yep.
the avatar,
Yep.
and then find their own voice. And she interviewed some of them, got them
Mhm.
engaged. What was her deliverable? Like what did you guys come up with as her thing that she was giving them or coaching?
Yeah. So
Outcome.
initially it was one-on-one coaching
Yeah.
and helping them. Her hyper focus is with women executives in male dominated industries,
Mm.
particularly things like technology,
Yeah.
where 10% of women
10%
women
of the
make up
execs are women.
10%,
Yeah.
right, of the population, and then the number of executives is very small.
Mm.
And so working with these women one-on-one on how to find their message, how to brand themselves, how to stand out in the crowd, and how to really be heard without having to develop a male communication style or be one of the bros, right? To really
Yeah.
authentically show up as themselves and get their message across.
Very cool.
And then she morphed that, as a lot of folks find, you get to a place where you're running out of time,
Mm.
and you don't want to do the direct time for money trade. So she created a group called the Women's Voice Network.
Nice.
And so now she's able to bring those women together so that they can work together on things and collaborate and network while they're improving all of these skills. That then got, somebody said, hey, can you come do a presentation to the women in our company? And so now she's being invited to stages to talk to larger groups of women who, of course, then come up and say, how can I join the Women's Voice Network? And it's just become a machine that is running on its own. And I think it's a great example of when you really find what the market is desperately craving, lead gen is not a problem.
Right.
Right? Because people are going to hand you off and like, hey, you need to follow this person, you need to join this, you need to come with me.
Yeah.
And
well, especially when you're delivering the goods. I mean, that's parts of the whole matter. So Laura, simplicity, that's kind of the cornerstone of everything that you do. Did that come natural to you, or was there something that just kind of came to a crux in your life that got you focused on simplicity?
I think there were a couple of things that got to me, but I think the biggest thing was, for years, I was that person who bought all the courses and joined all the groups and was in a mastermind and the coaching and all this stuff. And because I felt like, oh man, this is really complicated. I can't figure this out myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a really long time to come to the understanding that, hey, wait a minute. Complexity sells, right? When you present a framework as really complex, people are like, oh, I'm too stupid to figure that out. Here's my money. Teach me how to do this.
Yeah.
And I realized that I didn't have to do that all of this knowledge that I had compiled was helpful in allowing me to basically throw everything away and go to what is the simplest way to do this. Because I was building all this complex stuff in my business and hiring people to do all these things that I couldn't do. And I realized, like, wait a minute, I'm not in control of my business anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just following what everybody else is doing. And I don't like this. And if I'm not going to like it, I might as well go get a job, because at least I'll have decent health care.
Right.
And so I really just like called a halt to everything and said, okay, if I were knowing what I know now, if I were going to start this over, what are the one or two pieces I would put in place? And for about 4 years, I sold one product once a year. And the only reason I added a second product was because the people in the first product, when they were done with it, kept saying, well, now what?
What else?
How do we keep going? How do we stay like? And so I made up something and we developed it over time. And then I realized, okay, wait a minute, there's still a whole bunch of people who need stuff. And that second product isn't right for them right now. So let me add a third one. And that's it. And they're all super simple. They all just kind of run. And
chug along.
yeah.
So if you don't mind sharing, what does your simplified business look like and consist of these days? And as we're wrapping up 2025.
Yep. So we still do Plan to Win every year. We do a bunch of webinars in December, and we teach Plan to Win January and the first half of February. So it's a 6-week live taught. I like live stuff, where we teach people how to plan their entire year on one sheet of paper. We do the lifestyle design, all of that. At the end of that, if folks are super excited and they want to continue working some way, I have a higher level mastermind for folks that are getting close to the 6-figure mark and want to take that. They're at, 80, 90, 100, and they really want to get to about 250. And so I have that. And then I have a more entry level type membership where all of the content is available on demand, and we meet weekly for different things like networking. We have what we call success sessions where we're really focused on helping implement things. We have some accountability, bunch of different things. And then as part of that, we also do some sprints where as a group, we'll all work together towards a particular aim. Like, okay, let's add 100 people to your email list in the next 4 weeks. And we're all going to go do the same thing together and work on it together.
So you've created a really nice kind of community to take people along.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's
it. How important is that, do you feel, to people's success is having other people along on the ride with them?
I think having the right people along for the ride is really important. And the only reason I hesitate about community, I think community is really powerful because entrepreneurship is really lonely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of us are sitting in a spare bedroom, working alone, you know, while whoever we live with is off doing a day job thing, right? You know, I'm home all day with my cats and, you know, and so there is that place where we want to be able to go celebrate together. We want to be able to go commiserate together. I think the right community is very clear about, hey, we're here to support each other. We're not here to confuse each other. We're not here to go, you should take this course and you should do that thing. And, you know, I'm doing that. Yeah. It's all about, hey, let's all be going the same place at the same time together. We're all moving in the same direction. We're working on the same types of things. We're using the same language. I think there's a lot of communities out there that just create confusion because everybody's in there going, well, I took this course and I took that course. And again, we're just getting into this complexity and this fragmentation and, you know, and you're like, well, I don't know, somebody's doing that. Well, maybe I should be doing that instead of what I'm doing. And
yeah, plus, I mean, I don't know about your folks, or you, but I tend to suffer from shiny object syndrome quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so many of them now. It's
absolutely. Crazy. And so a good community helps you focus. A good community says, hey, that's a shiny object. Get back to work, focus, simplify. Why the hell are you doing that? Why are you spending money on that? You're making $50,000 a year. Why are you trying to join a $20,000 a year coaching program? What the hell is wrong with you? Don't be stupid, right? Like,
just because you want to get to that $1 million mark that isn't anywhere near as profitable as you probably think it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just again, like it. I'm not saying those programs are bad. Those programs are great, and I've been in them. But you have to be at a certain level, right? It's like saying, hey, you know, I want to be an expert in this field, so I'm just going to skip the bachelor's and the master's degree. I'm just going to go take PhD level courses. Yeah. And it's like, well, whoa, you're going to fail at them because you've got to have the basics in place. And most of them don't teach the basics. They don't teach a holistic view of business. They teach a tactic, right? Here's how you make a killing on YouTube. It's easy. No, it's not. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Exactly. Right? Yeah. You know, anyway, I get on my soapbox.
You're preaching to the choir here, Laura. I've chased after that shiny object way too many times in my life.
I spent years doing it, and it's why I understand it so well, and I understand the lure of it. But I've also been on the other side of it, and there's just something really wonderful about going into your day. Like today, we're doing this on a Monday, and it's, I don't know, 1:00 or something. And if I weren't here having this conversation with you, if we hadn't had this on our calendar, I would have been up in my wood shop an hour ago, monkeying around with stuff because the work got done before noon today. And there's no reason to sit at a desk adding complexity to something just because I think I'm supposed to work 8 hours a day.
So as we're kind of wrapping this up, Laura,
Yeah.
if you were to give some advice to your earlier business self who was
Hmm.
all overwhelmed and stressed out and about to pull the plug on the business,
Yeah.
what would you tell that person?
I would tell that person to spend no more than about 10% of her income on learning new things and and to skip all the free stuff, right? Um and just really get hyper focused on who do you want to work with? Like who do you really love helping?
Mhm.
And what's the simplest way that you can help them? And it's funny because at the beginning of my work, that's what I did. And then I got sucked into the complexity machine and chased all the gurus and really lost my way for probably a solid 10 years.
Mhm.
And so I would tell myself to, and the other thing is I would say, trust your instincts.
Okay. The
If
spidey senses. Yeah.
yeah, there've been plenty of times where I've heard something and there's something in my gut that just says, nah, it's that there's
Too
something
good to
just
be
not
true.
right. Something's like, but I was having FOMO or whatever, and I did it anyway.
Yeah.
And every time I have not trusted my gut, I regretted it. So
Regret it.
yeah.
Yeah. Good advice. Laura, if people would like to connect with you or find out more or get a taste test of the whole simplicity thing, what should
Yeah.
they do?
They should go to simplesuccessplans.com/checklist. They should download the daily success checklist and use it every workday because it will force you to focus. It will and just fill in the blanks that are there. Don't write in the margins, don't use the back, but it'll force you to make decisions about what's really important to do in your day and what's a distraction and what's fluff. And it will allow you at the end of your day to walk away feeling like, you know what? I can put business to bed now. And I can go back into my life and be the whole human that I am and not have to think about, worry about, stress about what I'm going to do tomorrow or next week or whatever, because I'll know I did the right things today.
Nice. Laura, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening to the High Ticket Success Podcast. Want to be featured, share your story, and inspire other premium coaches, consultants, and advisors? Apply now at highticketsuccesspodcast.com/guest.